Okay, let's see how you did. When I have the same base and I'm multiplying, I add the exponents. That is x to the 8th. Number 2, if I raise an exponent to an exponent, that becomes, I multiply, that becomes x to the 12th. If I'm dividing with the same base, it's similar to number 1, except that I subtract instead of adding, so that's x to the 4th. The fourth one here, if I subtract, I end up with x to the negative 5th, which I could also write as 1 over x to the 5th. Leads into number 5 here, which is just 1 over x to the 5th. That ends up being the same answer. 1 to any power is just going to be 1. Doesn't matter if I multiply 1 times itself 32 times, it's still going to be 1. So then we get a little tricky in here. This is going to be x to the 5th raised to the 4th. So that's x to the 20th. And then I have an x and a y, so I'm just going to have to raise each one of these to this exponent, and we'll have x to the 6th up top and y to the 8th on the bottom. For negative 2 to the x plus 4, let's see, I would have y equals 0 as a horizontal asymptote, and I would go through the point 0, 1, but this is inside the grouping symbol for the x, so that means I'm going to go left 4. So this goes 1, 2, 3, 4. So it would be here, and it would increase from right there. However, I've got a negative in front, so that's going to flip it over the x-axis and put this at the point, negative 4, negative 1. That's where my point is, negative 4, negative 1. And as it goes through, it will actually take off and be a decreasing function because of the negative. E to the x minus 3, well, that means I'm going to go down 3. Now, if your graph is going to move down 3 and you have a horizontal asymptote, you just move your asymptote down 3. Move your asymptote! See what I did there? Anyway, y equals negative 3. And then this point will be 1 above it, so that will be the point 0, negative 2. I took the point 0, 1, and I subtracted 3, and I got 0, negative 2. And then I graph over the top of this asymptote through this point, and I go up. Y equals 3/4 to the x is going to be just the same as this. It just won't decrease quite as steep. So we have y equals 0. We have the point 0, 1. And then we have a decay function. So when you're sketching these, I would just sketch these two the exact same way. The difference in the base is just how steep the graph increases, or in this case decreases. Then I got a negative 0.9 to the x. Well, the 0.9 to the x without that negative would look just like this. So I'm going to have y equals 0 as a horizontal asymptote. It would go through the point 0, 1, but because of the negative, that gets flipped over here. And so instead of being an exponential decreasing, a decay function, what happens is this comes up and increases and stays underneath the x-axis. There you go. There's your first page. Let's go to page 2.